We are fully in it now. The offseason is finally here. Super Bowl, LVI, XVI, whatever. It's over. It's gone. It's done. 2022 NFL offseason is here. I'm stoked. I'm excited. There's a lot of things that we're going to cover this offseason. You betcha. Mock drafts. Oh, yeah. Top 5 needs of all pretty much 32 NFL teams when we get to it. Oh, yeah. You bet. There's going to be a lot that goes on. Obviously, also, we've already put out a couple of videos as to let's try that again. As to what a lot of these NFL teams need to do in order to, either do their thing or just be as good as they possibly can be for next year. So there's a lot that I'm very excited about for all the NFL teams. But one particular team that I think this draft means a lot is the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I do have to start by saying that we have been, yes, the Raiders, they're coming off a playoff loss, a very close playoff loss to the AFC eventual Super Bowl participants. Now, I think the Raiders are closer than a lot of people think. We have covered them ad nauseum. They are a team we're really excited about. Josh McDaniels coming in as the head coach, Dave Ziegler, the new GM, and I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a really good fit there in Las Vegas, and plus I also think that a lot of the coaches and things that they're bringing in, it's going to be really exciting. And obviously, yes, we'll cover all the coaching additions and how we think that all fits together. But overall, I think that the biggest thing I'm taking away as we head towards the 2022 NFL draft and the offseason, free agency period, all that is, this is it. The Las Vegas Raiders need to draft with purpose. Now, again, free agency is one thing. We'll get there when we get there. But for right now, as we're looking ahead, as teams, particularly the Raiders, are looking at their big board, obviously, yes, I know we'll have the Combine. We'll have Pro Days. We'll have all that. We had the Senior Bowl already, so there's already a little bit of very preliminary work that's been done. But this is the time to where they need to do their homework, and I think they will. I think they've got a lot of good personnel in place, and I think they've got all the guys that they want as far as scouts in the scouting department in place. And I think what it comes down to is, in the draft, there's a couple different ways you go about it. As a Vikings fan, I have watched Rick Spielman do a lot of times the BPA, the target a specific player, and if he's not there, trade down and try to get more draft picks, because chances are you're bound to hit on one. But I think as the Raiders kind of get moving forward, I think there needs to be a couple of different mindsets. I know you can't just get pigeonholed in thinking one thing. Now, I also feel like, with the Raiders, they have got a lot of needs. We've talked about it offensively, and I think they are going to do a lot of different things offensively, especially with Josh McDaniel. And I believe the Raiders are slated to select at 22, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of different things going on with that. So at 22, with all the weapons we've talked about on offense and with everything they have on defense, I think the central message is, if you don't have a player you like at 22 particularly, I think you go BPA. I don't care who is, if your player has gone and he's not there anymore. Okay, fine. Move on, get the best player available. I totally get that, and I think there has a time and a place for that. I definitely think that's a big thing. But I think the biggest thing the Raiders need to do, when I say draft with purpose, if you have a player, especially in the top 3 rounds, look what the Miami Dolphins did this last year. Javon Holland, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, all 3 of those guys, they were guys that I believe, from my recollection, they wanted and they went out and got, okay? So I think the Raiders need to have a similar approach here as they get towards the draft. If they have a couple of guys, particularly along the offensive line, particularly as at corner, and if they want them, they need to go get them, because there comes a time, especially when you get past the 3rd round, where you're just drafting guys that you think are going to be very good developmental pieces. Listen, the Raiders don't need a whole lot of developmental pieces right now. They need to win. They need to draft as if they need to win now. I think that's the attitude moving forward, especially if Derek Carr is going to sign a contract extension. You need to get this man the help he deserves, and you need to shore up, finally shore up that defense for an entire season. It's been too long in the making. This entire team has been a whirlwind. They had a defense that played like a number 1 unit for the last month of the NFL season, like we have said, and you also have a defense that has shown promise. And yes, they have a lot of work to do, but it all comes down to drafting with purpose. Again, if you have a guy you like at 22, go get him. Or if you have a guy that goes at 15, go get him. Again, it's not like the Raiders have 10 or 30 needs. They don't have a lot of holes. I would say, again, offensive line, corner, and wide receiver are my biggest 3 needs, I think, as long as they re-sign all the players that we talked about, like Darius Philon, Hankins, all those boys on the inside. I could see them going D-tackle, especially in the 4th and 5th round. Again, we'll do draft profiles and players we think they should take. But overall, I think what it comes down to is the fact that if there is players, especially when you get to that 15, through that first round, the end of that first round mark, if you have a player that's high on your draft board, you need to go get him, because those are the kind of players that you have a really good instinct on. Those are the players you probably, honestly, if you don't have the most tape on them, you've done most of your research on them. So I think when you get to 22, and obviously we'll do mock drafts to see how that will unfold, but no matter what, whether it's BPA, whether it's a player you have wanted, it needs to be with purpose. You need, obviously, I think that the biggest message here is, when you talk about draft busts and no more reaches, I think the biggest thing here is, and Rick Spielman perfected it before he left the Vikings. I actually really liked Rick Spielman. I thought he did a really good job, but drafting with purpose is going to be where the Raiders start. If they don't like anybody at 22, I don't have a problem with trading down, but I would much rather get a BPA or the best player available there at 22, because you never know. That player could turn like Randy Moss or like Jamar Chase this year. Like, it was just, when we think about it, the Bengals didn't need to get Jamar Chase. They had a lot of other weapons, but got him to the Super Bowl. So again, BPA, be intentional with your decisions and draft with a purpose. I think that's what the Raiders need to do moving forward into the 2022 NFL Draft. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. I would greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com, or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders needing to draft with purpose.